Get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you can start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
It's not just sports. It's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Stevens with the ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update. In the NFL, there was a rematch of the Super Bowl yesterday as Denver and Seattle played in Seattle. As the game went to overtime, Seattle marching down the field first after it won the coin toss, puts the ball in the end zone off of a run by Marshawn Lynch to take a 26-20 lead and win and become 2-1 to open up the season. The Denver Broncos fall to 2-1. Also in baseball, Chicago Cubs host the Cardinals for a 3-game set. They lost yesterday to the Dodgers 8-5. They'll have a 3-game series in Wrigley. It's the last time these two will play before construction is taking place at the field. Also in baseball sports, the Chicago White Sox go to Detroit Tigers for a 3-game series. Detroit leads the Kansas City Royals by 1.5 games in the playoffs with 4 or 5 games remaining. I believe 5, I'm sorry. The Chicago White Sox are coming off a 10-5 win that they took over Tampa Bay yesterday. So hopefully they take that drive and go into Detroit and do what they have to do there too. In other news, back in the NFL, the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets tonight are at 7:30. Bears are coming off an impressive 28-20 win in San Francisco. And now they travel to New York. Before they get their first taste of their conference play against Green Bay next week, they could go 2-1. This has been your Chicagoland Sports Radio.com update. I'm John Stevens.
Nice going, Blasing.
I don't think that was me.
Well, regardless, anyway. Blasing, continue.
Good evening and welcome to the Bears-Jets preview live from Doc Ryan's here in Forest Park.
I'm John Stevens.
And we are going to take you all the way up to kickoff. But first, before we dive into the Bears and Jets, why don't you say we take a trip around the NFL and all things that happened yesterday, John?
Yeah, I gave a little preview earlier about the Seattle and the Denver game. That was pretty bad because I did the last-minute update. But around the league yesterday, there was many games everyone played, except for the Jets and the Bears, which we played tonight. And one of the games that stands out the most yesterday is the Cowboys coming back by 21 points and beating the St. Louis Rams 34-31. Romo has been getting criticized with his surgeries in this last offseason, and I think his comeback, and he looked pretty damn good.
No, he did, and he had the key play was when Des Bryant was left wide open. Almost looked like he was fielding a punt to take it in for a touchdown. The other thing, the Rams are clearly missing Chris Long on that defensive line. Janoris Jenkins did have a pick six early to put the Rams up. In St. Louis, I think that's what's impressive even more is that the Cowboys went on the road for the huge victory, the comeback victory, as you mentioned. Zach Stacy looked really good for the Rams. The Cowboys defense still has some holes, but Romo, like you said, did lead the charge and led the huge comeback, but the Rams clearly
are missing some key pieces.
Yeah, Sam Bradford, that loss is showing up huge.
What do you think about the fight on the sideline? Did you ever get any report on what that was about? No one ever really came out and said anything. They just said it was a difference between plays or something?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. I just think that happens in the NFL. Testosterone-driven league. You have a lot of guys. You put in all that work for 1 week or for 1 day, basically. So, I mean, those will happen.
Yeah. Another game that was really big on everyone's chart, I thought, that for fantasy, is the fact that Philly took on Washington, and RG3 wasn't playing for his first full game. And Cousins came in and really showed him that they're not missing really too much.
You ain't kidding about that. Kirk Cousins, and in the 3 years that those guys have been here together, it looks like Kirk Cousins has been the better quarterback overall.
I agree.
Mike Shanahan from the beginning, you could tell that Mike Shanahan did not want to go with Robert Griffin III. And it kind of proved that, of course, the 1 year, the rookie year, they went to the playoffs. But it's everybody seeing Washington wants Kirk Cousins. He goes for over 400 yards in the game against the Eagles. Even if RG3 comes back, why not stick with Kirk?
I would stick with Cousins. He's a proven guy. He's shown that he's better fit to run Gruden's offense. And RG3 just shows that he can't stay healthy, and you have those dynamic receivers in Pierre Garçon and just John Jackson. Jordan Reed, when he comes back at tight end, you're going to want to get guys that you want to have a quarterback that can get those guys the ball in space.
Yeah, on the other side of the ball with the Eagles, man, Foles looked really good too, and he was taking some tough shots. Foles had 325 yards on 27 and 41 passing with 3 touchdowns, and his main touchdown pass was the Jay Macklin. He had 8 catches, 154 yards, but this was a shootout, and you know what? I like the energy that was brought to the game, and, I'm not a big fan of taunting, but with Jackson firing up the crowd the way he was received and booed and everything after being an Eagle, even though they did not leave on good terms, I still think it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, and, there were a lot of games that were fun to watch yesterday in particular. Anybody see I'm assuming you guys saw the Denver comeback versus the Seahawks, even though Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson decided to end that one pretty quickly in overtime. Wasn't that 43-8 blowout that we saw either? And it's been 2 weeks now where an AFC West offensive team has not necessarily exposed an NFC West defensive team like the Seahawks, but they've done pretty well against it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Seattle, though, still showed that they're the best team in the NFL by far. They did let Denver come back for most of the game. If that safety doesn't happen on Marshawn Lynch, I don't think the Broncos get that comeback. But, give it to Denver. They've shown that they have some defensive parts, which could be scary, but I'm still not sold that they're maybe not on the same page, if not a little less than San Diego, who's shown a lot with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers is, I think we kind of said, it's always been, is this Phillip Rivers' year? Is this year going to be Phillip Rivers' year? He got to the playoffs last season. He's trying to duplicate that success coming into this season. He beat the Seahawks.
Did he beat them in Seattle?
It was in San Diego.
In San Diego, okay.
Yeah, the only loss in Seattle for the Seahawks in the last 3 seasons, you have to go back to last season when I think it was week 13 when the Arizona Cardinals came in and beat that one.
Yeah.
That was in shocking fashion that nobody saw coming. But it's proven that if Phillip Rivers is key for the Chargers, keep the ball on your side, steal the time of possession, and you got a great chance to win. He's done that against Peyton Manning last season. He did it not once, but twice, and then he did it last week against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think their record last year was San Diego overall with the playoffs
they were
and everything.
9-7, I'd want to say.
No, I mean against Denver, where they ended up being 2-1.
They won both games against Denver.
They did beat Denver twice?
I believe they beat Denver twice.
I thought it was
they
a
won
split.
For sure. They won for sure in San Diego. I believe they also won in Mile High as well.
The thing that was very impressive, though, with Rivers that I would like to point out is the fact that he takes a tough game like Seattle and he refocuses and stays focused and travels all the way cross country to Buffalo, where he beats them 22-10. And Buffalo is starting to look like a promising team for the first 2 weeks, taking on Chicago. And yeah, I know beat up not so strong Miami team. But the fact is that defense is still solid, and for Rivers to go in there, that front seven's solid, and for Rivers to go in there and do what he did, the Chargers are a team to be afraid of. They're going to be on the you circle that day on your calendar because it's not going to be an easy one.
It's not going to be an easy one either. And is it very possible in your mind? Let's take a vote here. Do the Chargers get another wild card berth in the AFC?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
I think so. Yes. I think definitely. I don't think KC will be there.
Is it safe to say that Kansas City is overrated this year?
Well, yeah, with the injuries that have been provided, that have happened to them, yeah.
Well, you look at...
They lost 4 players, dude. They lost 2 big guys on their defense.
Going into this season.
Nobody
expected them, obviously, to start 9-0 last season. No, that was the big shocker, obviously.
Yeah.
They go in, and then they go on to go 2-5 in their final 7 games, and then they get ousted in the AFC wildcard, a game that they should have easily won. But then the big second half, obviously, from the Colts kind of put a squander on that one, where the term overrated comes to the Chiefs. Coming into this season, as we've kind of mentioned, it's the Broncos and Chargers, the top 2. And then there's your very low Oakland Raiders way down south over here. Nowhere to be found there. I'd imagine the head coach, Dennis Allen, is out of there, right, after this year?
You would
I
think.
mean, after 3-4 seasons, and you can't turn the ship around, isn't it time to go?
Yeah, but before the season was even played, it was the most voted team that no one wants to play for. I think it was number 1, I believe. So,
Does that have maybe anything to do with the fact of Al Davis's passing, though?
dude knows, probably a little bit, not too much.
I mean, the motto's always been just win, baby. Just win. But he's not there anymore, and they're not winning. And they almost beat the Patriots yesterday. It's another game we can get to. Patriots-Raiders. Patriots did not look good yesterday.
Patriots need help on offense. I think they need a dynamic receiver. What do you think?
They need somebody to go alongside Julian Edelman. You can't have him be your number 1. He's a solid slot guy, but they need to look around and see who could be available. But that's not really New England's way, so I think that what you see is what you get. Don't forget Brandon Browner's coming back from suspension, so they'll have him and Jarrell Rivas. I think their calling card is going to be defense. And Shane Vereen. You have Shane Vereen, and then you have Stephen Ridley on the ground. Gronk's coming back.
I benched him in fantasy, by the way. That did not look good. And we'll get to some fantasy talk later on in our pregame show here as well. We're here at Doc Ryan's in Forest Park. A small crowd right now. It'll get busier as the night goes on and right before we get to kickoff. A lot to preview today. Bears-Jets tonight at 7:30. It's Geno versus Jay. It's another running quarterback the Bears have to go up against in the read option. And Shea McClellan not playing tonight, boys.
Yeah, they're deep.
Is that big considering? Or, I mean, it's a love-hate relationship with Shea McClellan, kind of like Chris Conte. He's not in tonight, though, McClellan. Jay Ratliff also not playing tonight. So is this big for the Bears, or is this something that, I don't need to worry about, but we know the Bears' defense is going to be a little shaky against the run game of Chris Ivory and Chris Johnson?
The Bears need this game. You're going into Green Bay next week. You want to stay on pace with the Lions. You win this game and you have a chance at home to beat Green Bay. You could put yourself essentially 2 games up with the Packers going to 1-3 and you being 3-1. Detroit looks like the real deal. We'll get into that. But Detroit looks like the best team in this division.
Yeah, I was actually, instead of talking about the Bears, let's preview them a little bit later, but I was going to say we should talk about that Detroit-Green Bay game since we're talking about both of their rivals. That game looked like, if they play like that, the Bears should have no problem winning both games regardless of where they play at. Green Bay's defense is atrocious, and Detroit's receivers just have no leadership. They don't seem like that they have anything going for them.
But didn't the Detroit Lions defense show you something yesterday?
Yeah.
They're showing that this is no longer a Jim Schwartz immature team. This is not the let's stomp on players and get unsportsmanlike 15-yard penalties. This is a new regime, a new maturity with Jim Caldwell, the head coach, formerly with the Colts, now with the Lions. Jim Caldwell, it's like a snap of a finger. It's turned around. Not just maybe the play, and we don't know how they're going to end up. They could have the typical Lions collapse towards the later end of the season. But with this team right now at 2-1 and the way that the defense has been per se, because we know the offense is there. You got, Joik Bell, Reggie Bush for your run game. You got your gunslinger Matt Stafford, and then you got Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate, who's been emerging very well. He thought it was going to be a little shaky transition from Seattle to Detroit. He's looked pretty good as well. Are the Detroit Lions through the first 3 weeks look like they're for real?
I think they're the best team in the NFC North right now.
I would agree.
Yes.
Okay. I would definitely agree.
Why?
I mean, Matt Stafford threw 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. They still win. They shut down the vaunted Green Bay offense. They shut down Aaron Rodgers. Eddie Lacy can't do anything. Jordy Nelson has a few catches, but Detroit owned that game from start to finish. And Green Bay's starting to look a little shaky. And the Bears, we know they can't stop the run.
No,
So you put in Reggie Bush, Joik Bell. Like you said, now you have Golden Tate on the other side of Calvin Johnson. I don't see how this Bears team slows down that Lions team. And the Lions have shown they can slow down a horrific offense. So
I think that the Detroit team is solid. Last year they beat Green Bay 40-10 with 3 weeks left in the regular season, and they won yesterday. So that's 2 games in a row they've gotten on Green Bay. With Matt Stafford playing, he has, Ryan said earlier, he threw 2 picks. 2 of those balls were right through the hands of his receivers. If Stafford plays good, that team's going to be impossible to beat. And he has to be the leader on that team on the offense extremely. And he has to find a way to get Johnson the ball. And no defense in the NFC North is going to be able to stop Johnson. No cornerback can match up with Johnson in any league except for maybe Sherman or Rivas. And they still need 2-3 guys to cover him because he's too big. But in the NFC North, I just see that the Detroit Lions defense being disciplined, like you said earlier with the coach change, I think they could be a dangerous team. And, they have a lot of talent and athleticism on the team, and we'll see what happens. But anything's possible, man.
Anything is possible, Dean, especially in the NFL. We're going to take a short break, come right back. Got a lot more NFL recap to get through from last Sunday's games. And we got, obviously, tonight, Bears-Jets, kickoff at 7:30 on ESPN. We got a lot to preview of that. Get some fantasy football later on in the program as well. Again, we're here at Doc Ryan's here in Forest Park. Come on out, say hello, have some drinks, have some food, and talk some Bears with us along the way as well. You're listening to our Bears pregame show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes now. Listen up. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. I also teach at ICB, so I know firsthand that it's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Doc Ryan's, Forest Park's hottest bar and grill, has the entertainment that you deserve.
Doc Ryan's, with never any cover and awesome specials. We have 20 cold draft beers to choose from. Mixed drinks, bombs, shots, and $5 domestic pitchers. No one waits in a line while some no-brain bouncer picks you to get in. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison in Forest Park, between the streets of Harlem and Des Plaines Avenue. Visit us on the web at DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. Doc Ryan'sBarandGrill.com. On Friday, we have a DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. On Saturday, we have a ping pong pool and bags tournaments all day long, followed with great music till 3 a.m. Come check out Doc Ryan's menu. Try out their corned beef, their chicken wings, or you can even build your own burger. If you're looking to reserve a party, call 708-366-2823. Again, 708-366-2823. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison Street.
Your friend Tom Waddle here. You've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? You're interested, aren't you? So why haven't you done anything about it? Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, you'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Apply now for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Start a new career in 1 year. What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night, an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Don't get stuck with high tuition that a 2 or 4 year college will cost you. Train intensively on your radio or TV career for 1 year with affordable tuition. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, here's what you'll get: flexible day and night classes, hands-on experience, amazing internship opportunities, and excellent job placement assistance. Put your passion to work. Visit beonair.com/Chicago Sports. You know you want to. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports. What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night on ESPN Chicago. Not many people can say that they love their career, but I certainly do. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard can help you find the career you love. I also teach at ICB because I like helping the next generation of broadcasters discover their passion. How do you discover yours? Well, ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes right now. Learn how to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. Get hands-on training on air and behind the scenes. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your career in 1 year. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. Why waste another minute in a career that you just don't love? Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
And now back to more Bears-Jets preview for tonight's Monday night game, only on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, live from Doc Ryan's.
And we're back here at Doc Ryan's in Forest Park. Beautiful sweeper, by the way, Ryan Blasey.
Thank you.
Nicely produced and everything and all that. As it's mentioned, we're here at Doc Ryan's in Forest Park. Bears start tonight at 7:30. They take on the New York Jets. Jets. Yes, I had to do it once. Sorry, John. I know you were mad about that earlier. I apologize.
I don't get mad. It's all good.
You get mad. You get mad, though, sometimes, but whatever. But yeah,
I never get mad.
Yeah, okay. But if you're watching the broadcast, you want to come out to Doc Ryan's, go right ahead. John, how can they get here?
You just want to you can take a train here. You get off at Forest Park, Green Line, Blue Line, or you could take 290, get off at Harlem if you're headed west, and if you're headed east, you could get off at Des Plaines or at Harlem. Go north to Madison Street. They have $12 domestic buckets, mix and match, and they also have half-price appetizers for the Chicago Bears game.
All right.
Actually, it's all night and all day, so if you guys sooner get out here, the more beer you can drink.
And plenty of seats here still available for tonight as well.
Yes. So let's start talking about this Bears game, I guess, huh?
Real quick before we jump into that, what do you guys think of what's going on in Minnesota now that Teddy Bridgewater has taken over?
I think it's been the Vikings need a breath of fresh air at quarterback. We saw the talk of, is it Ponder? Is it Matt Castle? And then, no, there's Teddy Bridgewater in the rings. Well, they decided to go with Castle. Now he's got the fractures in his foot. Bridgewater, he didn't look that bad against New Orleans. He really didn't look that bad.
I think it's the owner's so happy right now that whole contract controversy has just completely flew right over his head. He has no worries about who's going in to start. They drafted they drafted Bridgewater. They were waiting for him to get experience. Castle's hurt. So now there's no excuse. You got to play him. And you know what? Castle in the past has always been the backup, and he understands his role, and he's going to be in that earpiece every Sunday in his ear. So I can't see anything going wrong with it from the coaching point of view. And from the players, I'm sure they want to see a new, younger, fresh pair of legs run around on turf up there or that new field they just got.
You can't blame them, right? I mean, they're going to be
what do you think?
I like the move. I think you gotta make the move just like Jacksonville made the move with Blake Bortles. Although I thought Bortles should play, but watching that Jags game yesterday,
woof,
they are bad.
Woof.
That offensive line is horrible. Although Bortles did show a lot of mobility, so maybe they can get him on the run and kind of outside the pocket. But I like Blake Bortles. My thing is, if you play better than the other guy, you're the better player. I don't know how well that sits to be told you're not playing. And I think in this league you could lose a guy faster by not playing him. And I think that Bortles had to be watching Henny just stink up the joint. Outside of the first half against the Eagles week 1, the Jags have done nothing.
I think it's funny because I look at it like this. The first pick in the 2012 draft as quarterback played the first pick in the 2014 draft quarterback, and you said, welcome to the big leagues. He's got 370 yards, 4 touchdowns, Luck did. And Bortles went 14 for 24 with 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. It's going to be tough for him, and I think it was a good eye-opener. It was a great experience for him. And it's just funny that he happens to play him when it's Andrew Luck in town.
Speaking of that AFC South, really quickly, before we get to your update, John, in about a minute or so, is Houston for real in the AFC South?
No.
No. Why?
Ryan Fitzpatrick's your quarterback. You got housed by the Giants.
Lack of offense.
I mean, you're really going to tell me a team that gave up 175 yards rushing to Rashad Jennings is a real team?
I started him in fantasy.
J.J. Watt's your leader on receiving touchdowns.
That's not.
You pay the guy $90 million. You pay the guy $100 million. He gets 1 touchdown catch and no tackles in that game.
Real quick, going back to the Jags real quick and Bortles. When you draft a young guy like Allen Hurd or rookie free agent, you have Marquise Wilson, you have Allen Robinson out of Penn State. You have all these rookie wide receivers why are you not letting their rookie quarterback grow with them? So hopefully in a year or two, they have a dynamic chemistry because they've grown together. Chad Henne's not the guy. Why not start Bortles to get on the same page with these young receivers?
That's
true.
It's a hot question, and there's no, and we talk about when we had Blake Bortles go 3rd overall in the draft. You thought for sure, all right, he's the new face of the Jaguars.
Was Henne signed before or after the draft?
Before.
He was still signed before.
So
because you had that battle with Chad Henne and Blaine Gabbert, the former Mizzou quarterback at the time.
And they traded Gabbert to San Francisco.
Well, at least he's on a better quality team. Would you consider the way
taking
that
too many stupid penalties?
I want to make a quick metaphor here before, John, we get to your update. You know how we all laugh at the Cubs in baseball?
Okay.
Because they're a joke.
Okay.
And they're turning that tide around now, obviously. Are the Jaguars that joke of the NFL?
No.
No. Is it worse?
No, you would think if you had to relate, the Jaguars are a new expansion team. If anyone had to be a team that hasn't been able to do it right and constantly does that, it would be the Cleveland Browns, I would think.
Yeah, the Jags have only been around 20 years.
Yeah, the Cleveland
They
Browns
went to
haven't
an
won anything
AFC Championship
since
game their
64.
second year. Their mistake was not riding it with Tom Coughlin. I mean, that guy won back-to-back 14-win games, an AFC Championship.
And he had Burnell, right?
Yeah, Jacksonville had real players.
Burnell, now we're talking
Yeah, that
about
left
going back to the
tackle.
vault for
Well, you had the
quarterbacks there.
tackle left Tony Berselli.
They had Keenan McCardell. They had Jimmy Smith. I mean, the Jaguars were a real team. I think that they made some big strides last year. I mean, they hung with Denver in Denver. Jacksonville's got. They need to start hitting on some. They can't keep drafting a quarterback every 2 years in the first round.
No, it's not.
I agree.
It's not going to work, and that's why and the AFC South has been like this for over a decade now. It's always been Colts, and then you had the Texans back in I think it was 2011.
The year Manning didn't play.
The year Manning didn't play when the Texans were looking like a Super Bowl contender at the time, and then they obviously pooped out in the playoff round. But John, you have an update to get to, so let's get to that right now.
All right.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
I'm John Stevens with the Chicagoland Sports Radio.com update. The Chicago Bears played the New York Jets tonight at 7:30, coming off an impressive win, 28-20 against San Francisco last week. Now they will be traveling to the Jets to take them on tonight on Monday Night Football before they get their first taste of conference play against the Packers next week. Hopefully they come out with a win. It's a positive thing going into Lambeau Field with a 2-1 victory rather than being down 1-2. In baseball, the Chicago Cubs lose their series to the Dodgers 8-5. They will host the St. Louis Cardinals tonight for a 3-game set. The first pitch is at 7:05. The Cardinals need one win and one loss from Pittsburgh to lock up the division title for my number might be off here. Might need a little help. 6 year in a row? Yeah, they've won it in the 6 conference championship in a row. And they're coming off of the Chicago White Sox. Are traveling to Detroit Tigers for a 3-game series. Detroit leads the Kansas City Royals in the division by 1.5 games as the White Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday 10-5. Yesterday in the NFL, there was a rematch in the Super Bowl with Denver and Seattle. Played in Seattle. And it went to overtime. Seattle marching down the field after they got the ball first in overtime, winning 26-20 with a handoff to Marshawn Lynch to secure a 2-1 record as the Denver Broncos and them both going to Week 4 with a bye. This has been your Chicagoland SportsRadio.com update brought to you by ICB News. This is John Stevens. Sorry about that brutal update, but things happened. That scribble scratch update. I can't find the update we did on our show today.
Is that a pen eraser or is that just regular pen?
It's pen. Can you
it's
see
just
all
pen.
the scribble? I'm trying to read my own
That's
handwriting.
why they invented pencils, didn't they? And then you have the eraser on top.
Pendleton
and all
told me
that.
he was doing an update.
Right,
He never showed up. So
we're here at Doc Ryan's here in Forest Park, getting you set for Bears Jets later on tonight. Monday Night Football doesn't really get any better.
You know, they got $12 specials with buckets of domestic mix and match. They got half-price appetizers. Coming out and enjoy the game here at 7432 West Madison at Doc Ryan's. We were talking a little bit around the league on touching about the AFC South when we went to our update. And we were touching on if Houston's players or not. And I don't think they're in. I don't think they're in at all. The team that I think is the best team in the league right now that's not getting any recognition. That looks like the complete team. You guys might be able to agree or disagree, but it's in the AFC North. Is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think their defense, they've not even been playing anyone really too crazy, too tough, but they're showing up. Their offense looks good. And Andy Dalton looks like he's kind of serious. But you know what? Like every year he starts off strong, and then the playoffs come, they lose that first game.
What about, let's switch over to the AFC East. It's been a division that has been dominated by Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, every single year for the past 10 years, or more for that matter. It's been, well, because take it, they won their first Super Bowl in 2001. So about 13, 14 years, it has been their division. It appears the age is starting to catch up with Tom Brady finally, even though they're still probably going to be the favorites again to win the AFC East. I don't think there's any question about that. When is it finally for Ryan Tannehill? When's that time for him to step up? Is that window closing for Ryan Tannehill?
It might
or is
be
it just beginning?
It might be closing. According to the Miami Herald, a report came out earlier today that there's talks of benching Ryan Tannehill for Matt Moore.
Good or bad move?
Well, it can't be a bad move, could it?
I mean,
I trust Tannehill over Moore any day. No way can you convince me.
You know what? Maybe it'll put a spark in his rear end to start getting more serious that his job isn't secure, and that maybe it'll put a little bit more fight in his preparation and his game and everything.
If you don't think he's the guy, I guess you play Matt Moore and hopefully get a worse draft pick and start over with Marcus Mariota.
Oh, boy. Well, there was the talk that if Mariota was to come into this past draft.
You think they'll draft him over Jameis?
How can you touch Jameis Winston?
I don't think he's draft eligible. I don't.
No?
I don't
Winston
think,
is, yeah.
He is eligible. Okay.
But how are you going to draft a guy that same thing every 2 weeks?
Johnny Manziel style?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I need to get better. I know what I did was wrong.
Yeah,
It's the same thing over and over again.
Are you going to keep yelling sexual phrases, hop on tables, and just scream out whatever you feel like you want to? It's not going to work in the NFL. Johnny Manziel's curving that right now. He's not. He got a couple plays in against the Saints, last week, but everybody still looks at him as the punk, immature quarterback.
Yeah,
and that image is going to stay there for quite a while.
Arrogant. Yeah, who knows? Miami, Florida State, same state. Florida, who knows?
Is it just maybe, you go to...
Coincidental? Who knows?
You think Johnny Manziel should run into Jameis Winston at Publix and they can go seafood shopping together? Is that possible?
Johnny Manziel didn't do anything that Winston has done. He hasn't stole anything. He
didn't steal any he didn't steal any crab legs from Publix.
All he did was sign autographs, and he was wrong for doing that. But you know what? What do you expect from a freshman who wins the Heisman for the first time to do?
Well,
of course that's going to happen.
But we're seeing that now. It's not just Johnny Manziel now. Jameis Winston.
Well, Jameis
we're
Winston.
Seeing that after you win the Heisman, it seems that, okay, I'm a Heisman. I'm a Heisman winner.
You
I
think
can do
you're
whatever the hell I
untouchable.
want.
You think you're untouchable.
Yeah, I think it goes, but we've never seen that in years past. Why is it all of a sudden happening now?
Because in years past, the committee's never elected anyone. I think, at one time wasn't Tebow the first sophomore to win it? And then after that was Bradford. Those two guys are Class A guys. We don't know.
Despite how much we despise Tebow's quarterback skills, he truly wasn't the guy that didn't
One
get
of
in
the nicest
trouble.
guys
Same
out
with
there.
Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
So we will take a short break. Get into some fantasy football talk next. In my two leagues, one of them I won because my guy forgot to switch out a couple players, so technically I'll call it a bye week for myself. But we'll get to some fantasy updates later on, and we'll get to some Bears-Jets preview in the next segment as well. Again, Bears-Jets preview here at Doc Ryan's here in Forest Park. Come on out, have some drinks, have some food. Take a short break, coming back. You listen to our Bears pregame show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Tom Waddle, and I'm here to tell you how to get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you could start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports. Tom Waddle here, and I know you've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? Interested, aren't you? Don't waste another minute. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. Classes taught by industry pros with affordable tuition and job placement assistance. Apply now for spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes now. Listen up. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. I also teach at ICB, so I know firsthand that it's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Doc Ryan's, Forest Park's hottest bar and grill, has the entertainment that you deserve.
Doc Ryan's, with never any cover and awesome specials. We have 20 cold draft beers to choose from. Mixed drinks, bombs, shots, and $5 domestic pitchers. No one waits in a line while some no-brain bouncer picks you to get in. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison in Forest Park, between the streets of Harlem and Des Plaines Avenue. Visit us on the web at DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. Doc Ryan'sBarandGrill.com. On Friday, we have a DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. On Saturday, we have a ping pong, pool, and bags tournaments all day long, followed with great music till 3 a.m. Come check out Doc Ryan's menu. Try out their corned beef, their chicken wings, or you can even build your own burger. If you're looking to reserve a party, call 708-366-2823. Again, 708-366-2823. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison Street.
Your friend Tom Waddle here. You've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? You're interested, aren't you? So why haven't you done anything about it? Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, you'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Apply now for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com live from Doc Ryan's.
And we're back here at Doc Ryan's. Another well-produced sweeper there by our guy Ryan Blasing over here. As we got John Stevens coming back with our drinks over here at Doc Ryan's in Forest Park. There we go, John. Didn't you say you used to work here, I think, as well? You did work here before. Okay, thank you for that, kind sir. Again, if you're interested in coming out to Doc Ryan's, we're here in Forest Park. Come on out, say hello, have some drinks, have some food. Bears-Jets kicks off at 7:30 tonight. It's Monday Night Football. We get to a little more of our preview with that later on in the program here. And really quickly, let's go over some fantasy stuff really quickly. As we kind of talked about this earlier, guys, about Rashad Jennings. For the running back of the New York Giants, he ran all over that Houston Texans squad, who we were thinking is overrated earlier as well.
Yeah, he did. He did run all over them all. He had a really good running game, and there's another running back that had a really great game. Give me a second, I'll find him.
Yeah, I'm looking at my fantasy team right here. It was Rashad Jennings, 176 yards with a touchdown, 24 points for me. So I'm very happy about that.
Giovanni Bernard had a big game,
That's
2 touchdowns, 42 yards.
Is he the running back of the future?
I think he's too small. But he looks like a very good Darren Sproles-esque player.
I was just going to say that. It reminds me of Sproles.
The guy, though, at running back, talk about a weird year. Marshawn Lynch, good year, not great.
He had 2 total touchdowns with 88 rushing yards total yesterday.
I mean, he had a great game yesterday, the first game. Second game, if he doesn't get that late touchdown, he has 30 yards. They're definitely turning to Robert Turbin more. But you look at the guys that went top 6, I think you could say in every league. You had Forte in there in the top 6.
You still have to see how he's going to play tonight.
He's done pretty good, though.
Lacy.
Eddie Lacy, nothing.
Concussion issues, though, have lagged him his rookie year. He added a little bit in the opener against Seattle as well. Keep that in mind.
I have Eddie Lacy. Drafted him 5th, has done nothing. With Sean McCoy, nothing. Adrian Peterson, we all know that.
Same thing with Ray Rice. We know what his situation is.
So
Jamal Charles has a .001.
Broken ankle or sprained ankle, whatever, not gonna get it done. And now Niles Davis, his backup, looks like he could be the real deal.
Here's another guy who I haven't heard from either. Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris has actually been
he's
somewhat
done all right.
decent.
Has he done okay?
Yeah, he's been doing somewhat
Receiver-wise, the guy that I keep in my league trying to get for the cheap, but the guy will not budge, is Demaryius Thomas of the Broncos. Nothing. I tried offering him Vincent Jackson for him. He said no. I offered him Keenan Allen. He said no.
Well, I don't know if I'd give away Vincent Jackson for. Here, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't give away Demaryius Thomas for a guy like Keenan Allen or Vincent Jackson. I'm sorry. I can't do it. That's just not me.
I thought he might sell. I mean, Vincent Jackson has more touchdowns this year than Demaryius Thomas.
Does he?
Yeah. Demaryius Thomas has 0 touchdowns.
How many yards, though? I mean, I know touchdowns account for a lot in fantasy. I understand that.
I think his best fantasy game so far was like 8 points. He didn't do anything yesterday, maybe 30 yards.
So I have on my team, I have Stafford and Peyton Manning. I went out of my way, my first round pick, I took Peyton Manning, and everyone was picking running back, so I said screw it, and I picked Matt Stafford. Well, yesterday I had to choose between one of them, and I put Stafford in, thinking he would have had a better game against Green Bay at home rather than Manning going to Seattle. Manning put up 24 points, Stafford put up 4 points. Stupid me. Yeah, and then next
you feel smart beforehand.
And then next week, this week coming up after today, they play. They have a bye week 4. So I have Manning sitting. I'm gonna play Stafford again, and after that, I think they're playing the Jets. I'm not for sure. Maybe I think they're playing the Jets next week. The Jets are playing all the NFC Central teams. If you notice, they play the Packers, the Bears, Lions.
It's the AFC East versus the NFC North this year.
Yeah, they're doing it like that, and they're in a row right now, but I have them playing against the Jets next week, and then after that, I was going to trade them for some running back of any kind, because then I'm just going to start Peyton from there on out.
How disappointing have we seen C.J. Spiller for the Buffalo Bills? He had his game against the Bears, had the one touchdown, but that's been it.
But I don't know if he is really underachieving, considering he's more of the scat bat. Fred Jackson's the number 1.
Who do you like, though, for Buffalo?
Fred Jackson.
You like him over C.J.?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it seems like he's a faster guy.
But Fred Jackson gets the bulk of the carries. CJ's not going to get goal line carries.
Fred Jackson runs between the tackles.
And so what would be wrong with if CJ got the red zone carries? You're saying you trust Fred Jackson over CJ?
If CJ got the goal line carries, but he's not going to get them.
But
it's the pounding of the offensive line and defensive line in that situation.
Okay, here, and the reason why I'm backing CJ, not only because I have CJ Spiller on my fantasy team or anything like that, he's been doing terrible for me this past week, the past 2 weeks I should say. But if you look at a CJ Spiller in the red zone, inside that 20-yard line, he's got that ability to, if you want to do a running back screen pass to him, he can dodge through and get you those 15 yards for a touchdown potentially.
So does Matt Forte, but the Bears don't use him that way.
They should, though. That's one of the bread and butter reasons why you can have Forte as your flex option.
The problem is you're starting your whole argument with what if. So anything could happen then. You know what I mean? It's the whole stats that prove that.
Should CJ Spiller at the end of the season?
Let me tell you this. You know what? You might have an argument. Spiller's a better athlete and he's faster.
Yes.
But I'll tell you this. You keep putting him where Fred Jackson is and you tell him to run between the tackles, you won't have Spiller next year.
But he's not getting those reps.
Because Fred Jackson's better.
Only at running between the tackles, though.
Well, then you know what? When you do try to do sweep plays and try to do some kind of creativity, that's where Spiller's at his excellence. And also, he got his touchdown from that kick return.
It's the same argument when you look at the Packers. Eddie Lacy's only been on the field for like 63% of the plays, while they've allowed James Starks to play like 30% of the plays, as well as Devin Harris getting a few snaps.
Does C.J. Spiller maybe deserve to be on another team then? To get those kind of reps, a team that could maybe use a guy like C.J. Spiller.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Obviously, he's not needed in the Eagles organization right
Tell him to go to the Patriots.
Patriots. So you get
or
rid
go
of
to,
Ridley
or trade him for Richardson and go to the Colts.
Colts have Ahmad Bradshaw
and Trent Richardson, who
is
the third overall pick in the 2012 draft. He's still not that great shining diamond that we were expecting to see from him in Cleveland. And then when he went over to Indianapolis.
He's my running back at in fantasy, too, on that same team I just announced. I picked him up in the 7th round. And he gets me 9 or 10 points. He's not nothing like a number one running back should be, getting 22, 23 carries. Speaking of running backs, the Bears are going to have their hands full tonight trying to control these running backs, especially with that read option.
What if, for the Bears, who are playing the Jets tonight, it's their third time that they're going to see a read option-esque offense. First it being the Bills and E.J. Manuel.
Yeah.
Last week you saw it against Colin Kaepernick.
Who's a professional and destroyed him at it many times.
Destroyed, yes, I agree.
I think after that hit, though, he took from Allen, I think he was a little hurt, and he won't admit it. Because that whole offense did not exist in the fourth quarter for San Francisco after that play.
Well, no, go ahead, Ryan.
The difference between the Bills, the 49ers, and the Jets are the Bills at least had a few wide receivers, and the Niners have other guys. With the Jets, you just have a running game. There's no wide receiver on the Jets that scares you.
You don't like Aaron Decker?
No.
Neither do I.
I mean, I like Eric Decker.
I think he's a Manning product.
I like Eric Decker in the right system, but I don't like him as a number one. He's not a number one receiver.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's a number one receiver either. I think he's blessed that he was on Denver last year. He did good. Peyton Manning made him what he is, and he got paid for it this year. But I think the Bears' defense, Fuller, should be able to shut him down easily and everything like that. With the running games, though, that surprised me is how aggressive Chris Johnson's running. He seems like he's really happy to be getting out of Tennessee. And now the last two games with New York Jets, he's actually doing something. I know Ivory's the number one guy, but Chris Johnson's still doing some kind of difference, don't you think?
Yeah, he is. I mean, the Jets, you can't go wrong with either guy. They're a great flex play. Looking at another AFC running back that a lot of people were high on, and I told everybody before the draft, it's somebody that I am not interested in, but people draft him high, and that's Monte Ball.
Oh, for sure, out of Denver.
Yeah, I don't think he hasn't really done much. I think that in a Manning option, he fumbled again yesterday, and I think that those fumbles are going to raise their issue, and we know with Manning and Brady, if you don't hang on to the football, you don't play, and I don't think Monte Ball is going to earn the trust of Peyton Manning.
Do you? Who's the number 2 running back for the Denver Broncos?
I want to say a guy named Anderson, an undrafted free agent out of Cal.
Yeah, I don't.
But with Manning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you just need a guy back there that
could hold on to the ball,
that can find a hole, can catch a few passes, and can block.
And it doesn't seem that Ball could do pretty much all those at the same time.
No,
obviously not at the same time, but you know what I mean.
He can't hang on to the football, and if you can't hang on to the football, Peyton Manning's not going to play you.
And you become less of a threat.
He is. I think the best running back, real quick, before we hit a break and then dive into the Bears on the other side, is Donald Brown out of San Diego. Now that Damian Woodhead is injured, Donald Brown looks to be the workhorse, and Phillip Rivers and that offense can move the ball. I think Donald Brown might be a guy, if he's on the waiver wire, to look at, or even maybe try and buy low in a trade.
How about the running back yesterday?
For the Chargers?
No, last night, I'm sorry. Pittsburgh.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Most underrated running back.
He could be. very good guy, although that 180-yard run helped him out a lot in points.
Yeah, it did. That's my other running back. Is I got to show you my team at break, and you'll laugh because it's like all the guys we're actually talking about. We're going to take a break here. We're live at Doc Ryan's. Come out for the Bears game, 7432 West Madison. You're listening to Chicago Radio, ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
You have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Tom Waddle, and I'm here to tell you how to get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you can start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports. Tom Waddle here, and I know you've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? Interested, aren't you? Don't waste another minute. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. Classes taught by industry pros with affordable tuition and job placement assistance. Apply now for spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes now. Listen up. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. I also teach at ICB, so I know firsthand that it's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Doc Ryan's, Forest Park's hottest bar and grill, has the entertainment that you deserve.
Doc Ryan's, with never any cover and awesome specials. We have 20 cold draft beers to choose from. Mixed drinks, bombs, shots, and $5 domestic pitchers. No one waits in a line while some no-brain bouncer picks you to get in. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison in Forest Park, between the streets of Harlem and Des Plaines Avenue. Visit us on the web at DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. Doc Ryan's BarandGrill.com. On Friday, we have a DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. On Saturday, we have a ping pong, pool, and bags tournaments all day long, followed with great music till 3 a.m. Come check out Doc Ryan's menu. Try out their corned beef, their chicken wings, or you can even build your own burger. If you're looking to reserve a party, call 708-366-2823. Again, 708-366-2823. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison Street.
Your friend Tom Waddle here. You've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? You're interested, aren't you? So why haven't you done anything about it? Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, you'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Apply now for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Start a new career in 1 year. What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night, an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Don't get stuck with high tuition that a 2 or 4 year college will cost you. Train intensively on your radio or TV career for 1 year with affordable tuition. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, here's what you'll get. Flexible day and night classes, hands-on experience, amazing internship opportunities, and excellent job placement assistance. Put your passion to work. Visit beonair.com/Chicago Sports. You know you want to. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Tom Waddle, and I'm here to tell you how to get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you could start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com live from Doc Ryan's.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm John Stevens with the ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update. Sorry about the delay. The Chicago Bears play tonight against the New York Jets at 7:30 in New York. They're coming off an impressive 28-20 win in San Francisco. As they prepare for this game, they start conference play next week against Green Bay, so they have a big game ahead of them. Hopefully they get 2-1 and go into Green Bay with a positive note and a positive record. In other NFL news, the Seattle Seahawks hosted the Denver Broncos yesterday, a Super Bowl rematch, as it took this time, instead of a 43-8 blowout, it took them overtime, and the first drive of the first possession in overtime, they took it downfield and scored a touchdown with Marshawn Lynch, winning 26-20. In baseball news, they're obviously out of the playoffs in Chicago, but the Chicago Cubs lost to the Los Angeles Dodgers yesterday, 8-5. They will host the St. Louis Cardinals in a 3-game set. The Cardinals need one win and Pittsburgh's to lose in order to get into the playoffs and lock up the division. First pitch is at 7:05. Sorry about the scribble scratch. I can't even read right now. Also, in other sports and baseball news, the Chicago White Sox coming off a 10-5 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. They will be in Detroit for a 3-game series, as Detroit is leading the Kansas City Royals over a game and a half in their division for the playoffs itself. This has been your ChicagolandSportsRadio.com update. I'm John Stevens.
And welcome back.
I like the music. That is awesome.
Welcome back to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Our coverage of Bears and Jets leading up to the 7:30 kickoff on ESPN Monday Night Football, live from Doc Ryan's. Come on out, join us. Half-price appetizers, oogles of beer on tap, from Bud Light to domestic beers. And, John, if I'm not mistaken, there's a deal for bottled beers, you said?
Yeah, it's $12 buckets, domestic beers, mix and match. Miller Lite, Bud Light, preferably Miller Lite, since it's the official beer of the Chicago Bears. Speaking of the Chicago Bears, let's talk and preview this game now that we're an hour into our show, and this pregame show here at Doc Ryan's, and let's figure this one out. Who do we like, and how are they going to do it?
It's an interesting matchup. It is. You have a Jets team that very easily and probably should have won in Green Bay, lose on a touchdown that somebody on the sideline called that is just unfathomable how that happens in an NFL game. Rick Ryan jokes about it later this week as, that's us basically saying, we're undisciplined, we're unprepared. The Bears, on the other hand, when Trestman is over-prepared, listening to their press conferences and listening to them speak, the way that they break everything down so manipulously, it's totally two opposite approaches, but, it truly is going to be offense versus defense, and it's weird that there's a team dynamic on defense in a Bears game, and it's not the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's good, well put, definitely. Everyone knows the Bears, except for last year, as being a defensive team, being one of the top defenses. Everyone refers them to the 85 whenever they have a good defense. Regardless of where year it is, the 85 team always gets brought up. But this year, it's the complete opposite. the New York Jets defense is the number one. I have a stat in front of me, ESPN.com. It's the best source for sports, Ryan Fahey, just letting you know. Rushing yards, they average first with 179. That's for offense. And with defense, they allow 52 rushing yards. So Matt Forte is going to have his hands full, and they're going to really need to get this running game going. I think that I forgot the guy. I don't want to say Ferguson. It's a Richardson or Ferguson, the guy in the middle that is very disruptive on the Jets. They're going to have to really manhandle him and get him out of the way of the gaps.
Yeah, and I understand that, you want to run the ball, you want to control the clock, but I would disagree with the Jets only giving up 52 rushing yards a game. That's definitely not the approach you want to take. I would look more for screen passes, slants, but I'm more trying to get the ball to Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall, and especially Martellus Bennett in the middle. And when you use Forte, maybe more in screens and stuff like that, but to try and just pound the ball and control the clock, that's not going to happen against this Jets team. And so the Bears need to exploit the Jets' weaknesses, which is their secondary.
Yeah, especially with Milner going down. That's a huge, huge advantage for this receiving core. And you know what? Everyone was very skeptical about Holmes coming in. I could see him having a big game, especially with the history he's had and the lack of defensive backs that the Jets have to cover our our deep threat and receivers in our core. I can't see the score being anything less than us putting up at least 35, 40 points on these guys. I know it seems extreme and a lot, but I think this is going to be their breakout game. I know they had a really good quarter last week against San Fran, and they need to take that momentum and bring it into New York and not let off easy, because if they put their gas down, they're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to put up 40 points. That's a tall order to ask, 40 points, but I could definitely see him getting between 27 and 31 points. I think the question is, the Bears are going to need, I'm going to say 27 to win this game. And that's the question, can they get 27 against this Jets defense? I think this Jets team with Chris Johnson and Ivory have enough talent to at least get 17 to 20 points, maybe 24. So I think for the Bears to be safe, 27 is going to be like the benchmark to feel very comfortable about coming out of this with a win tonight.
I think another big thing that has to happen for the Jets in order for them to keep this game close is time of possession. The better they are is if they keep the Bears' offense off the field, because once they start going and Cutler starts getting hot like he did last week and in previous weeks, I know he makes some dumb airhead plays once in a while, but if they keep Cutler off and keep him inconsistent, I think it will frustrate him and they have a better chance, and especially with that running game and the Bears' defense not being able to stop anything. But the Chicago Bears' offense is just too powerful. I can see them not putting up touchdowns, at least a couple touchdowns in the first couple drives, especially as vulnerable as the Jets' secondary is. Geno Smith, too, another thing he can't do is he has to limit his turnovers. He can't be stupid with the ball. He has to be a Russell Wilson type figure where if something bad breaks down, don't force the issue because it never works out for him. He floats the ball too much. Just run out of bounds or throw it away. And if they do that and they keep it close, I think it's going to be they have a better chance than if they try to do a shootout, just playing 4 downs and doing whatever they think they can do, because the Bears are just too athletic.
Yeah, Jay Cutler needs to hang on to the ball too when those front seven are coming at him. It'll be interesting to see how well he does and how well this offensive line holds up. That's been a very good offensive line to speak of. Also, as we're getting ready to preview this, I know it is on Monday, or the ESPN game is on Monday night, but I just want to let people know if you do not have cable, channel 26-1 WCIU, the U will also be carrying this game for Chicagoland area, or for people within the Chicagoland area that do not have cable.
That's good. We should tweet that out. At break, we'll tweet it out.
So I just wanted to let people know.
I know there's people out there without cable.
26-1 if you have an antenna box. You can find the game.
We're here right now live at Pregame in the Bears and the Jets. We're here at Doc Ryan's. Come out and get some $12 domestic beers, half-price appetizers. Fahey, your headset's off. What do you think of the Bears? I want to get your point of view on this.
You know, here's the thing. If you want it's probably going to be a shootout. I don't know if this is going to necessarily be a defensive game, because if you look at the run defense,
You think the Jets have enough to put points up on offense?
over a injured Bears defense and a defense that can't really stop the run, yeah. I mean, look what Buffalo ran over the Bills, no problem. Or the Buffalo Bills ran over the Bears, no problem.
But you know what? In the Bears' defense, that was the first time. You can't make excuses. This is the NFL, I understand. But this was their first time all of them finally played together. They have a little bit of rhythm in their step after they had one game of experience. As a whole, these guys are professional athletes. They got to pick this thing up quick. They don't have a whole year. They have 17 weeks to get it right. And I don't think they're going to ever have not ever, but I don't think they're collapse on how bad they poorly played against Buffalo's run. They're going to do it to the Jets. I think they're going to get this. They're going to do it right, and they're going to really step up.
What was it in your mind? And here, this can be something for you guys to debate about. What's improved the most from last season, the secondary or the defensive line?
Secondary with Kyle Fuller, those 2 picks against the Niners. I think the best thing that, and I know I'm going to get killed for this, but the Charles Tillman injury might have been the best thing to happen to the Bears.
I agree. I totally agree. And I know everyone says that Charles Tillman is a great player, this and that. He's on the downside of his time. He just doesn't do it. Fuller needs to step up, and last week he did it.
I've always loved Peanut Tillman. He's a great player. When I first got to ICB when I was a student, I was lucky enough to intern with Jarrett Payton. And then obviously Jarrett, his dad, playing on the 87 Bears and, winning the Super Bowl, a lot of those guys. And someone from the 85 Bears was in studio a cornerback and off air just made a comment. He goes, I love Peanut Tillman. He's a great player. Works hard, does a lot of things. He goes, but there's a reason that Peanut Tillman has to be very good at punching the ball out. It's because he's getting beat a lot. I mean, people don't want to accept it, but there's a reason he's very good at punching the ball out. It's because guys are usually catching it over him and he has to rebound. Now, yes, I don't care how you get the turnover. Bottom line is, there's a lot of guys in the NFL that get beat at corner. It's what you do to recover. He has a great thing to recover, but Kyle Fuller's younger, and in the NFL, you want to get younger, not older. I think to get him in and to get him at the number 2 corner is huge, and I think that in the long run, you'll see this Bears secondary be better because of it. The front line has obviously gotten better. Jared Allen, Houston, but Willie Young
is a beast.
Talk about a guy last week. He was just bullying Jonathan Martin.
Oh, shots fired there. He did.
He just went there, didn't he?
Yes,
guys?
he did.
Just went there.
And you know what? Not too soon.
Are you sure?
No, not at all.
All right. That's your call on that one.
I think he's the most improved player on that defense in the last two games. And to be honest with you, who really stepped up from game 1 that no one's really talking about, everyone's a little upset with, is double nickel Briggs. Briggs had a hell of a game last week, and he needs to carry that Monday night game, that Sunday night game into tonight's Monday night game and really take on that leadership role on that defensive side because, like I've said earlier, the Bears defense, they have all the tools there. They have the front 4. They made some good acquisitions in the offseason, and this defensive line is a bunch of experience, and they know their roles, and if everyone does it right, Fuller should be getting a lot more picks because those quarterbacks are going to be under a lot of pressure.
How many years does Lance Briggs have left with the Bears? Not just saying any good seasons, because I think the good seasons are behind him, obviously.
Well, if he stays healthy, and that's hard because he hasn't been healthy at all in this last couple of years, I say he has at least 2 more years after this. Maybe his 3rd year he'll be on his complete outs where something might happen like a Tillman injury where he ends his career early. But I think he has, after this year, he has 1 more good year. But the Bears realize that time is running out on some of these veteran players, and this is the year that they really need to step up, Like Ryan said earlier, they want to go younger. Allen is not going younger, but you know what? He needs to do something because his prime is now, not prime, but the downfall, and he could still do something. They got rid of Julius Peppers, and he did something yesterday against Detroit. Showed up a little bit, but getting back to the Bears, they got they got to make some moves, man. They really got to step up their defense.
What is it about the Bears defense that we really need to keep an eye on for tonight? What are you looking for?
The read option.
The read option. Who in what stage of defense? Secondary, linebackers, D-line. What shows up the most tonight?
Bostic has to stay contained and make sure that Geno Smith doesn't destroy him on that read option. He needs him to keep. He needs to just spy, however they term it as. They need they need to be disciplined and stay in their lanes.
Placing.
It's got to be the linebackers. They've got to step up, but I'm sorry, the D-line, because we have no linebackers. The Bears have no linebacking play. D-line has to step up, and to be quite honest, I'm very worried about this linebacking crew, and that has to be something that has to be addressed over the offseason because it is getting horrendous how bad the linebacking play is.
They're not that bad. Well, they're not nothing like.
They did make a couple of nice goal line stops against Frank Gore. Now, granted, they did allow that 154-yarder for the most part, but that got called back because of a holding call. So let's remember that. The Bears would have been, they allowed a 54-yard rushing touchdown to Frank Gore, but it was only called off because of a 49ers penalty. And speaking of that game, I lost track of all those penalties in that game. We don't see that again tonight.
Yeah, we want no laundry on the field. That was probably one of the worst called games in a while. And the thing that was very frustrating was there was a play on special teams where there was 3 different flags on special teams. Come on.
That special teams is a big question mark. Isn't it amazing how after 1 year of not having Devin Hester, it's all of a sudden big turmoil?
No, I mean,
you want to get.
It's funny you say that. I was just going to say when we get back from break on the other side, I was going to tell you why the Bears made a mistake of letting Devin Hester go.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll hear that after the break. We're here at Doc Ryan's at Forest Park. Bears starting about an hour, so we're going to stick around for kickoff as well on that. So we'll come right back, get some more Bears talk, get our predictions towards the end of the pregame show as well. So you're listening to our Bears pregame show here live in Doc Ryan's Bar and Grill here in Forest Park here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Tom Waddle here, and I know you've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? Interested, aren't you? Don't waste another minute. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. Classes taught by industry pros with affordable tuition and job placement assistance. Apply now for spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes now. Listen up. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. I also teach at ICB, so I know firsthand that it's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Doc Ryan's, Forest Park's hottest bar and grill, has the entertainment that you deserve.
Doc Ryan's, with never any cover and awesome specials. We have 20 cold draft beers to choose from. Mixed drinks, bombs, shots, and $5 domestic pitchers. No one waits in a line while some no-brain bouncer picks you to get in. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison in Forest Park, between the streets of Harlem and Des Plaines Avenue. Visit us on the web at DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. Doc DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. On Friday, we have a DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. On Saturday, we have a ping pong pool and bags tournaments all day long, followed with great music till 3 a.m. Come check out Doc Ryan's menu. Try out their corned beef, their chicken wings, or you can even build your own burger. If you're looking to reserve a party, call 708-366-2823. Again, 708-366-2823. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison Street.
Your friend Tom Waddle here. You've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? You're interested, aren't you? So why haven't you done anything about it? Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, you'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Apply now for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Start a new career in 1 year. What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night, an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Don't get stuck with high tuition that a 2 or 4 year college will cost you. Train intensively on your radio or TV career for 1 year with affordable tuition. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, here's what you'll get. Flexible day and night classes, hands-on experience, amazing internship opportunities, and excellent job placement assistance. Put your passion to work. Visit beonair.com/Chicago Sports. You know you want to. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Tom Waddle, and I'm here to tell you how to get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you could start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com live from Doc Ryan's.
And welcome back here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Bears Jets preview here at Doc Ryan's. Before we went to break, we were talking about the Bears special teams and Devin Hester, and I told you that I would tell you why the Bears made a huge mistake of letting Devin Hester go. But before we get into that real quick.
Is it going to be like a rant we're about to get in for the next 10 minutes, or what?
No, I was just saying.
All right. I was going to prepare myself and get like a body cast in case you're about to come at me with like some hardcore knowledge.
Real quick, though, from the NFL, Jets wide receiver Eric Decker, Bears wide receiver Brandon Marshall, and Alshon Jeffrey are all active for the night's game.
There you
Good.
go.
Keep Alshon in on my fantasy then.
I got Brandon Marshall in my Yahoo League. And you know what the thing is?
Yeah.
Speaking of that really quick, I know we were talking fantasy earlier. I got Brandon Marshall in my Yahoo League, okay? I'm up against Martellus Bennett and Alshon Jeffrey, the guy who I'm facing this week.
Okay.
I'm hoping Brandon Marshall gets that 3 touchdowns and not, those other guys, they can get all the catches they want, but Brandon Marshall gets those 18 points total for 6 touchdown points apiece.
That would be nice.
I'd be okay with it.
I wouldn't because I have Alshon. I would rather have Alshon get 3 touchdowns.
You're not in my league, so I don't have to worry about it. Just saying.
That's one thing we could agree on. We're not in the same league.
That's very true.
Put a little double meaning behind there. I'm kidding with you. I'm kidding. But going back to your Devin Hester.
The Bears had the best returner ever in the NFL in Devin Hester. They always had a distinct advantage in punt returns and kick returns to where they scared the other people to even when Hester didn't touch the ball, they would punt the ball out of bounds or do other things to give the Bears legit field position. You had no plan behind you, and you cut Devin Hester, and you see what he's done in Atlanta, taking that punt back for a touchdown to break Deion's record.
Did they cut him for salary reasons? Or what was the reason, actually? Was he demanding more than what they wanted to give him?
Basically, they didn't think he was worth the money that they were going to have to pay him to play. But in a league where special teams is becoming fewer and fewer of importance, if you can go in there with a huge advantage and get the field position that Devin Hester brought on especially punt returns, you are really hurting your offense by putting a guy back there that's just basically in a fair catch every time. The guy can just gun up and punt it as high and as far as he wants, knowing that he has nothing to worry about from somebody else breaking it. And I think the Bears, for not wanting to pay him, are really going to notice by the end of the year how much Devin Hester really did for this team.
He was definitely a spark for the Chicago Bears for many years. For a while, it was everyone's favorite player because he was wearing number 23, and he was something to root for every game on the offensive side of the ball. But he definitely makes an impact. Just because they couldn't utilize him at wide receiver and couldn't get more out of him, especially with the rule changing, the kickoff length and everything like that, I think the Bears just kind of got intimidated thinking that every kick's going to be out of bounds or be a touchback, and they got it wrong. They had no plan, like you said earlier. They had no idea that he has this much left in his tank, and if he keeps this up, he's going to finish out this contract he has with Atlanta. He probably will score. I guarantee you he runs at least 5 more to 10 more running kickoffs or punt returns, both, before he's retired. I think he's going to have more than where he's at right now. And as long as teams don't get it and not kick to him, dude, he's a threat.
He is a threat, and he's shown that the Bears just tried to stick him in one role on offense. If you just get him the ball somehow, he can do some things. So I think he's always going to be the big what if.
Do you think the offensive coordinators the Bears had in the last 3 years before Trestman were just not that creative in how to utilize his talent and get him in the open space where once you get your best player in open space, there's nothing that could stop you?
Without question.
You didn't love Lovie Smith and his offensive thoughts?
Dude, don't even get me started with that. That's a whole nother segment for a whole nother day. But the thing is like what Tim Tebow said. I know Tim Tebow, but he said the best thing about a spread offense is that you get your best player in open space, and when they're in open space, it's their athleticism versus one guy who's covering them. And if that guy has speed, such as Percy Harvin, who's probably the best athletic guy in the league right now with speed, and
how about Cordarrelle Patterson for the Vikings though?
That's another close guy.
He's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there with him.
But what I'm saying is, though, you get these guys where you could utilize their skill and what they're best at, and the Bears had that, and they just never capitalized on it.
No, that's true. And I mean, going back, even like you said, Lovie Smith, you saw Lovie Smith's offensive genius as he can't do anything in Tampa.
He makes.
We saw what happened last Thursday night against the Falcons when.
Yeah, hey, I got his stats right here.
The shellacking of the century occurred.
He had
56 points.
He had 1 reception for 25 yards. He had a rush for 20 yards for a touchdown.
Somebody in my fantasy league
fumbled once.
Josh McCown.
Like a clown.
Yeah, 58 yards total, interception, 1 total fantasy point for the quarterbacks because in my league it's only 1 quarterback, and then you get your 2 running backs and then your 2 wide receivers and a flex. 1 point for your quarterback. Absolutely brutal.
That's
and then one of his other
4 more points than I got with Stafford last night.
Oh wow, that's right. Stafford only had 5 points or 4 points. Didn't he throw 1 touchdown though?
No.
He ran into Reggie Bush, and then there was the defensive touchdown as well. I apologize.
And 2 of the interceptions went right through his hands, and it was just like,
bruh,
catch the ball, man. Clint Dix, on the other hand, got his first interception.
That's another guy that the Bears, who are after this Jets game, I know Bears Jets tonight, but then there's next Sunday Bears Packers. The Bears are going to see Clint Dix, the rookie safety out of Alabama. There's high expectations for him, filling in that hole for M.D. Jennings, who left to originally come to the Bears before he was cut off the 53-man roster off of injuries after the injury report. So they gave the claim to where he's not going to make it because of injury. But is that Packers secondary better than it's been the past couple seasons? Because
it isn't.
They slowed down Stafford in that offense, but it still wasn't enough, though, obviously, because the Packers lost.
The Bears are going to see 2 guys that they might have made a mistake on passing on when you see tonight for the Jets, Calvin Pace, the safety out of Louisville, and then Clinton Dix, the safety out of Alabama. 2 guys that the Bears should have looked at and thought about drafting. Yes, Kyle Fuller has done well, and you can say, well, that pick's more important now with Peanut Tillman going out, but you need a safety, and the Bears haven't found a safety, and I think there's 2 all-pro safeties that they passed on.
How do you think Conte's playing after I think last week he had the best interception catch so far of this year.
And there's always been the talk that Chris Safety is the most athletic safety He's the most athletic safety it looks like the Bears got right now. It's just the injuries don't stop with this Bears defense.
He's no Earl Thomas.
No.
I mean, to say that he's the most athletic safety the Bears has, isn't that kind of like saying you're the smartest kid at summer school? I mean...
Well, I know, but that's only like one of the few things that that's one of the few things that Conte has going to where now Bears fans are going to rip him apart because the Chicago perspective of Chris Conte, they hate his guts.
They hate him because of what he did. They hate what he did with Green Bay, and then the first game against Buffalo, him getting stiff arm like that really didn't help his resume with Bears fans. But
he was trying to do, as he said in that post game, he was trying to do that peanut punch. It wasn't even close to
peanut punch. He didn't even swing.
He was just trying to grab his arm and take.
Yeah.
It's got to be a full body bear-like tackle. You got to play like the '80s. Old school football defensive tackling is how it gets it done.
I think now with all the new league rules with hitting wide receivers and you got to hit them inside that box, I think safeties are the hardest position to play in the NFL. I really do. I think you got so much to worry about with the way you approach anybody, defensive receivers, hands contact, as much as you saw with the laundry on the field last week.
Oh.
There's every hand, even in the preseasons, you touch the receiver, you get a flag. It's all because I believe after the 43-8 shellacking, and they saw how good defensive was on that jam him in the first 5 yards. Dude, you had the best offense of all time get shut down and only score 8 points. It shows that offense wins games, but defense wins championships.
But that first play that ended up as a safety didn't help, though.
Yeah, but you know what? That also helped to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, too, when they played the Giants.
That was the second time that the Giants and Patriots played together. That was 2012.
Yeah, that was the
when
first.
they played that
Could you imagine that, having a bet in Vegas where it says Brady's first snap in this playoffs in the Super Bowl and Peyton Manning's is going to be a safety? You know what the payout would have been for that?
I want to know if somebody actually did do that. Okay, so Tom Brady had the one.
They didn't do the combo, but they do that. They do have those kind of fun fact bets. It's called what kind of betting is it? I forgot what it is.
Prop bets?
Yeah, prop bets. That's the word I was looking for. But
prop bets for every game.
The best prop bet that everyone loves, going back to Hester, was when they were in the Super Bowl. It was the first time in NFL and NCAA history where Ted Ginn Jr. for the Ohio State Buckeyes ran it back against Florida in the championship, and then they got blown out, 42-14?
Yeah, something
like that. And then the very next week, Hester runs it back against the Colts.
Yeah,
if you would have put a prop bet in, and this was a prop bet, that you put like $100 down for that to happen on first both plays, the payout was over $1 million. And I think 7 people hit that.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll get to some more Bears-Jets preview after this update from John Stevens.
Dude, stop doing it.
Chicagoland Sports Radio Sports Update.
I lost my sheet. Let me find it real quick. I'm sorry. You surprised me with this update, Ryan.
Surprise!
All right, I'm John Stevens with the 6:30 Chicagoland SportsRadio.com update. The Chicago Bears play the New York Jets tonight at 7:30 as they're coming off an impressive 28-20 win at San Francisco. They now travel to New York before they play their first conference game against Green Bay next week. Hopefully they get a win and they go into Green Bay with a 2-1 record. Yesterday was a rematch of the Super Bowl. It wasn't the same score as the Super Bowl blowout-wise, 43-8, but Denver kept it close with a late fourth-quarter drive to send the game to overtime. But Seattle, on the first possession of overtime, drove it down the field. Marshawn Lynch scores a touchdown on a run play, and they win 26-20. In baseball, both Chicago teams are obviously out of the playoffs. Happened back in June. But the Cubs lost to the Dodgers yesterday 8-5. They will host the St. Louis Cardinals for the last time before Wrigley Field gets repaired on and gets a little makeover. The first pitch is at 7:05. If St. Louis wins and the Pittsburgh Pirates lose, the Cards clinch the division for another consecutive year in a row. On the other side of the street, south side, the Chicago White Sox are going to Detroit for a 3-game series. Detroit leads the Kansas City Royals by a game and a half in the playoffs. The Chicago White Sox are coming off a 10-5 win over Tampa Bay. Hopefully they bring some of that fire up to Detroit and stop them from making the playoffs. This has been your Sportstown Chicagoland SportsRadio.com update. I'm John Stevens.
And welcome back. time has flown by.
Time flies when you have fun, doesn't it, guys?
It does. We are under just about 1 hour from kickoff. We are going to take you to the top.
Sorry.
We are going to take you to the top of the hour here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
We're here live at Doc Ryan's. Come out and watch the game here. It's over at 7432 West Madison. They have $12 buckets of domestic beer and half-price appetizers.
Sounds like a good deal.
We're getting ready to head into our last break. When we come back, we have scores, predictions, all things as we take you up to the top of the hour, getting you ready for Bears and Jets on ESPN Monday Night Football and WCIU, the U, if you can't afford that cable bill.
So for everybody in jail, you can see it on Channel 26.1. Right? Do they get Channel 26 in prison? Anybody know about? Does our cameraman Tim Helms know about that at all, or no?
Why would I know?
Oh, no, he knows. He knows. Our cameraman, he knows it before. So anyway, really quickly here before we go to another break here, before we get to our what to look out for and all that kind of stuff. You mentioned, I think it was a couple breaks ago, Blasing, about how the rants about why the Bears shouldn't have let Devin Hester go. Well, we saw on Thursday night he broke Deion's record. He finally got the 20th return touchdown, his 20th touchdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wasn't it ironic that he breaks the record for Deion Sanders for all the kick returns, punt returns against his former coach? I found it very ironic.
I can't believe his former coach kicked to him.
You would think he'd know better, right?
They were talking in the pregame, and everyone was speculating that he was going to be like, hey, we're not kicking to you, like joking around. Obviously, that wasn't the conversation.
He was actually serious, and
yeah.
I've been told that we have some free. We got some pizza here.
Yes, we do.
So, courtesy of Doc Ryan's, want to thank them for having us out here. Oh, he's even got the crushed red pepper out. All right, woohoo! That's what I like to. That's the stuff right there. A little Parmesan cheese and crushed red pepper. That's the key stuff right there.
All right.
I'm just throwing it out there. Sorry. All right, but yeah, we got a lot more stuff to get to. We got our predictions coming up after the break. My score, I said this on my show last Thursday with Paul Shivari. And if you want to catch that show, you can every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sportstownchicago.com. It's the Fahey and Shivari show. Very selfish plug there for myself, as I will add that to that. I have a very prediction that is going to make John Stevens keep shaking his head at me, because he doesn't do that enough. He's still going to
shut up.
All right, we'll take it. I don't know how to move on from that. We'll take that break right now and come up. We got our prediction segment coming up, and then we'll get you all set for kickoff of Bears-Jets coming up at the bottom of the hour at 7 o'clock at 7:30. So stick around. This is our Bears pregame show live here in Doc Ryan's in Forest Park, Illinois, here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Start a new career in 1 year. What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night, an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Don't get stuck with high tuition that a 2 or 4 year college will cost you. Train intensively on your radio or TV career for 1 year with affordable tuition. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, here's what you'll get: flexible day and night classes, hands-on experience, amazing internship opportunities, and excellent job placement assistance. Put your passion to work. Visit beonair.com/Chicago Sports. You know you want to. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Tom Waddle here, and I know you've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? Interested, aren't you? Don't waste another minute. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. Classes taught by industry pros with affordable tuition and job placement assistance. Apply now for spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
What's up? This is Jonathan Hood from ESPN Chicago. People often ask me, Hoodie, how can I be a sports radio guy like you? I tell them it takes drive and determination, and you need to learn how it all works. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting in Lombard, you can do just that. ICB is enrolling students for day and evening classes now. Listen up. You can learn to be a sports talk show host, a producer, do play-by-play, and shoot and edit video. You'll have a chance to get internships at stations like ESPN Chicago, where you can tap into the knowledge of industry pros. With job placement assistance, you can start your new career in 1 year. I also teach at ICB, so I know firsthand that it's a great school to get the hands-on training you need for a broadcasting career, doing what you love. They have affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. So don't waste another minute. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports and see what the Illinois Center for Broadcasting has to offer. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Doc Ryan's, Forest Park's hottest bar and grill, has the entertainment that you deserve.
Doc Ryan's, with never any cover and awesome specials. We have 20 cold draft beers to choose from. Mixed drinks, bombs, shots, and $5 domestic pitchers. No one waits in a line while some no-brain bouncer picks you to get in. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison in Forest Park, between the streets of Harlem and Des Plaines Avenue. Visit us on the web at DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. Doc DocRyan'sBarandGrill.com. On Friday, we have a DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. On Saturday, we have a ping pong pool and bags tournaments all day long, followed with great music till 3 a.m. Come check out Doc Ryan's menu. Try out their corned beef, their chicken wings, or you can even build your own burger. If you're looking to reserve a party, call 708-366-2823. Again, 708-366-2823. Doc Ryan's is located at 7432 West Madison Street.
Your friend Tom Waddle here. You've heard great things about the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, haven't you? You're interested, aren't you? So why haven't you done anything about it? Don't waste another minute in a career you don't love. You can be the next great announcer, DJ, producer, or TV reporter. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting provides hands-on training in radio, TV, and online media. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, you'll learn key skills from industry pros while working with professional equipment on air and behind the scenes. Still need to keep the 9-to-5 job? Their flexible class schedules can work around any schedule. Short on cash? They have very affordable tuition and financial aid for those who qualify. You'll have access to amazing internships and job placement assistance when you graduate at top radio and TV stations like ESPN. Apply now for the Illinois Center for Broadcasting spring classes and start your new career in less than a year. Learn more at beonair.com/Chicago Sports. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
Start a new career in 1 year. What's up? It's Jonathan Hood from Chicago's Game Night, an instructor at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Don't get stuck with high tuition that a 2 or 4 year college will cost you. Train intensively on your radio or TV career for 1 year with affordable tuition. At the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, here's what you'll get: flexible day and night classes, hands-on experience, amazing internship opportunities, and excellent job placement assistance. Put your passion to work. Visit beonair.com/Chicago Sports. You know you want to. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You love sports, you have drive and determination, but you need skills to work in sports broadcasting. Hey, this is Tom Waddle, and I'm here to tell you how to get those skills at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Get hands-on training for a career in radio, TV, or digital media. Learn to be a host, producer, or shoot and edit video. With internships, day and night classes, affordable tuition, and job placement assistance, you could start a new career in less than a year at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports to put the ball in play. That's beonair.com/Chicago Sports.
You're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com live from Doc Ryan's.
And welcome back here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com as we are in the final segment of Jets Bears preview live from Doc Ryan's. Looking for a place to watch the game? Maybe.
Why don't you head out here?
Yeah,
I just hope the people at the bar have been very tolerable of us. They haven't come over and slapped John Stevens yet. So.
No, we had a couple of fans sitting here just now.
I mean, they got half-price appetizers, domestic 12-bucket bottles of beer. Might as well come down and you can score while the Bears score.
Beer on the wall, beer on the wall, beer on the wall.
Something like that.
Why am I getting slapped for that by our camera?
We're in the segment right now where we were going to agree on talking about picks and who do we like.
I'm okay with that.
Are we going to go by quarter, or are we going to go by half or game?
Game.
I think we should just do the whole game.
The Bears are +2.
+2.
I'm not talking about with the actual betting line. I'm just saying, who do you like, Ryan? We'll start with you, the board op.
All right. As I said before the break, that you're probably not going to – you're going to shake your head at my prediction. Bears 41, Jets 17. Final.
41-17.
41-17, Bears over the Jets.
Now, Ryan, let me ask you something. What is your reasoning to believe that you would think I would shake my head on a score like that when literally an hour ago I was just arguing that they're probably going to put up 35 to 40 points?
I don't know. You just like shaking your head at my comments sometimes, so I figured
I don't.
roll the dice on that
Never, man.
But, yeah, I'm going 41-17. Cutler throws 3 touchdowns. Maybe he does throw 1 pick. I'd like to see Matt Forte especially improve. I mean, the San Francisco 49ers, they just shut him down last week. Forte had nowhere to go at all last week, whether it was the screen passes, they were trying to run up the field. Nothing was going for Forte. I expect a bigger game out of him. I expect 1 interception from the Bears defense. Just 1. I'm not expecting, 3 interceptions like last week, because I think that's going to be a flash-in-the-pan game for the defense. It'll probably be their best defensive game of the year. I'm going to say the 1 pick goes to Jared Allen.
Really?
I'm going
you think
Jared
it's gonna
Allen.
Be one of those
you know what he does?
deflections?
He's going to stand. Yeah, he's going to stand up. He's going to jump up to deflect the pass. It's going to be tipped up in the air, and he'll snag it right down. I'm not going to say it's going to be a pick 6 or anything, but I think Jared Allen gets the 1 interception, and Willie Young gets another sack as well, because he had a very good game on the defensive line for the Bears against the Niners last week. So, those are my predictions.
How much time do we have in this segment?
Yeah, we got about another 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Here, I just wrote down a bunch of things right here. Maybe we could all have a little fun playing. All right, first of all, Ryan, if you don't mind me asking, who do you like tonight?
I like the Bears in a close one. I think they win 27-21. I like Cutler 2 touchdowns.
See, that's where I was going to get to next. I wrote down a bunch of scenarios. Do you think Cutler is going to throw 2 touchdowns or 2 picks?
2 touchdowns.
If I have to pick between 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns? All right.
I'll go with that one.
Who do you think is going to throw more picks, Cutler or Geno?
Cutler. I think Geno keeps the ball clean.
There you go. See how this works? It's fun.
Geno keeps the ball clean, but Cutler just does that 1 pick that makes you think, oh, great, Jay Cutler's still here. But then he shakes it off and just still performs very well.
I think that the Bears are going to win 42-28.
Okay, so you're expecting some points to come out of the Jets
side.
side.
I do. I do think they're going to score a little bit.
Okay.
Do you guys think Forte is going to get a rushing touchdown?
No.
Yes.
I'm saying no.
No? I say yes, too.
Okay.
Do you think Forte is going to have over 100 yards?
No.
Yes.
I don't think so either. Do you think Marshall's going to have 2 touchdowns?
No.
Well, you're saying yes because he's in your fantasy.
Yes. I'll say yes because he's on my fantasy team. But
I think
I'll
he
go
does
for
also.
that on that, yeah. Okay.
How about Jeffries with a touchdown?
No.
I'll go yes.
And how about Holmes? Do you think he's going to be targeted more than 5 times against his old team?
Ooh, 5 is a good number to pick there.
Especially for that 3rd spot.
I'd have to say he'll get targets, but it ain't going to be any more than 3. So I'm going to say no, he does not get more than 5 targets.
I'll say no as well.
I'm going to say yes. I think he's going to be
Okay.
I think he's
you
going
just
to.
wrote down N for yourself.
I know.
No.
Well, I changed it to yes because
Changed your mind on the fly like that.
Well, no, I
Look at
meant
this
like
guy.
I
Can't
just
make
wrote
up his
it.
own mind.
I wrote it down in the wrong category.
No I in team, guys. No I in team.
But there's 3 eyes in chili fries.
Hang on. See it? Oh. Yeah, that's actually the first time I ever heard that phrase before.
That's one of my signatures. I'll let you borrow it one day.
Oh, that one day. Thank you.
There is an I in team. It's in the name.
Oh, all right. Our cameraman Tim Helms here is even providing the.
Let's give a shout out to Tim for helping us these last 2 hours.
Job as always.
Who do you like, Tim? Get involved
Tim,
here. You're part of the crew.
Why don't you put on a headset? Come on. Why don't you see? Yeah, come on. Give a prediction. Come on, Tim.
Tim, who do you like in the Bears game tonight?
I don't know. Probably Forte.
No, the score.
Oh, well,
Just be careful you don't knock over these wires.
I won't. I am going for the Bears. Let's keep it low. Let's say about 17-20.
2017. That's a close game.
I'm going to keep it. Ow. I'm keeping it low.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to say. I'm going to say yes to the Forte one.
You like Forte going over 100 yards?
Yeah.
You like him scoring a touchdown?
Yeah. Why not?
Do you think Marshall, Jeffries, or Holmes? Marshall or Jeffries will have a touchdown?
Marshall probably. Holmes, I don't know.
Yes or no? No?
Let's say no.
There you go. Keep it simple, Tim. Keep it simple, baby. The kids method. What else would you like to add on this segment real quick before Ryan takes your microphone away?
You know, he's getting a little anxious. I'll give it up to him.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Now let's get back to the experts over here. Now, Ryan, You guys have anything more to say on this whole Monday night matchup with ESPN hosting it?
Yeah, as soon as I'm done eating this pizza, yeah.
I like Martellus Bennett to have a big game. I think he's become a huge staple in this offense.
Who do you think leads the defense with tackles? Allen, Young, Briggs, Conte?
In terms of just regular tackles?
Yeah, just leads the team in tackles.
I'll go Willie Young.
Briggs?
I'm going Bostic. I know that sounds weird, but for some reason I think he's going to be the most important piece of the puzzle, especially with him having
He's
to be
one of the few young, healthy bodies on this team, too.
McLennan's out, correct?
DeShay's out, yes. He's not playing tonight.
So it's his responsibility to really pick up on that read option. So a lot of action is going to be coming his way.
What about Tony Fiammetta? Do we see any production out of him? Maybe more than 6 carries?
On a who?
Tony Fiammetta, the fullback?
Oh, I didn't even know.
He was a little bit utilized last week against the Niners.
No, I
don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
See, that's where it comes into like a run between the tackles. San Francisco is a different team. They're more physical. They're more aggressive. They're violent. They run hard. They hit hard. Everything they do is with force and like attitude. I don't think New York Jets have that kind of attitude, and they're not at that level yet. They're trying to figure out their own identity with Geno Smith, but their defense is going to give the Bears something to work with in the front five, or front seven, I mean. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man.
Is the Jets' defense underrated? Yes or no?
I think yes, but it's also too early to tell. Their division's weak. They haven't really played anyone too great, and they blew. I don't know.
They only beat the Raiders by 5.
Yeah, but not
Remember
even
that 19-14.
Not even the Raiders. They had such a good thing going in Green Bay, and they blew it. You know, they let Green Bay climb back in, and they just the fact that Ryan was on his other headpiece when the timeout was called was unacceptable. So who knows? You know, it could have been an easy win out there up north for them at least, but I don't know.
What in your mind is something that if you're to watch one in particular matchup, the X's and O's tonight, and this goes for both of you guys, and I'll give mine as well, which matchup are you looking out for the most tonight?
I'm going to say the Bears' offensive line against the Jets' defensive line.
Who has the better night then?
They got to manhandle that front. Who is it, Richardson or Ferguson?
I'm going to say the Jets' defensive line has a better game, but the Bears do enough with checkdowns and screens to win.
Okay. Now, you know how I know, Johnny, you have your stack of yeses and nos. You might want to add maybe one more thing as well. How many sacks does the offensive line of the Bears allow?
That's funny.
3.
Okay, so let's say we'll set it at 2.5. So over under, Bears offensive line allows 2.5 sacks. Over under. I'm going over.
Over.
I think we're all going over.
Okay.
I think 2.5 slow. I say you do 4.5.
Ooh, you want to go up that high for an over under?
Yeah, for sacks against that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say under still. Or under.
So you think it'd probably be around 3?
Yeah, about 3 is a good solid number.
Now, what's the matchup, John, you're looking out for tonight?
I want to really see how the receiving core of the Bears just dominate the defensive backs of the New York Jets. And I would also love to see Tressman finally get a little bit of attitude and really make Holmes a big piece of the puzzle tonight against his old team, because it seems like, even like we saw yesterday, when former players leave their one team to go to another team and they leave on a heated argument, that when they go back, they have that fire in them and that extra aggressiveness, and I really think Holmes could be a big contribution to this offense, especially with Milner out.
Yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. D. Milner is he is out for this game tonight against the Bears. It seems like if we look at the matchup on paper, it appears that the Bears wide receivers versus the secondary is the biggest advantage on the Bears side right now.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
I'm sorry. What was that? I apologize. I was reading someone.
The matchup with the Bears wide receivers versus the Jets secondary, probably the Bears' biggest advantage going into tonight's game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I would definitely take that. The only thing that Jets defense that we have to worry about is that nose tackle, that defensive tackle, that front seven, and that how I don't want to say his name wrong. I know it's either Ferguson or Richardson. He's number 90, I believe it is.
Ego Ferguson?
Is that who it is?
97, yes.
Yeah, he's just a terror. So if the Bears can contain him and stop him, I think you'll be all right.
And remember, the Jets are the team that drafted safety Calvin Pryor from Louisville that everybody, before the draft happened, when, the Bears have got it. Do you think Phil Emery's got it right? Oh, he's got to take Calvin Pryor, the safety out of Louisville. He surprised you with Kyle Fuller. But it seems like Phil Emery knows what he's doing with his draft picks. He drafted Kyle Long. That's worked out very well, the offensive lineman for Oregon, who we all praise and love. And Kyle Fuller on the national spotlight gets the 2 interceptions. Does Kyle Fuller get another pick tonight?
No.
But does he make a good impact?
Yes.
I think Fuller does something that will keep Bears fans excited. I think that they're going to do something that will keep them positive, and especially now that he's stepping up for Tillman, I think he's going to have, you know what, he might even lead the team in tackles. Who knows?
Yep. And I'm assuming, and again, we want to thank Doc Ryans here in Forest Park for having us out here tonight.
Absolutely.
Bears game, it can be caught on all the TVs. I'm assuming everybody at the bars got the Bears tonight?
Yep.
I love how they hate me here. I'll assume yes. I know, John, you work here actually, so we also want to thank.
I don't work here anymore.
I also want to thank you, John. You are one of the reasons why we are here tonight.
No
so
problem.
we want to thank you for allowing us and everybody you work with here to have us here tonight. We appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you for those wonderful sweepers.
Not a problem.
Those were sweet.
Those sweet sweepers, if you will. Also want to thank our cameraman, who ate too much pizza earlier and is now, I think, is he eating Tums or what is he doing? Has he got the Tums going with us?
I'm not saying that.
You know, the thing is, he rode with me today, so I'm going to hear the stomach rumbling in the car all the way back home tonight. That's our great cameraman, Tim Holmes, who is probably going to smack me after we get off the air here right now.
Real quick before we get off, again, Bears 27-21 for myself.
I got Bears 41-17 over the Jets. Jets.
And I like the Bears at 42-28 with our cameraman Tim at 20-17 with a close game.
Oh, so I didn't hear your so it's 20-17 you got? Wow, you're low score over here. We all got the high scores, and John, you got the 28 points allowed.
You know what's funny about Tim? The questions I asked, I go, "What's the score of the game of the Bears?" He said 20-17. I go, "Is Forte going to score?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "Is Marshall going to score 2 touchdowns?" He said, "Yes." I go, "Is anyone else going to score?" He goes, "Yes." So right there's 28 points. I don't know how he did his math.
Hey.
I'm that guy, but hey. Whatever works.
Oh,
he's
wow.
just wedging.
How did we get to that point? I don't even know.
He's wedging his bet.
Oh.
Before we
oh my goodness.
Before we go, does anybody have shameless plugs they want to give for their shows?
You can catch me every Tuesday. I got my show tomorrow morning. Lots of Bears recap on that one. On the board every Tuesday from 10 to 12 noon on Sportstownchicago.com, and I got my show Thursday. Fahey and Shivari every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be speaking to the editor of CheeseheadTV.com, Brian Carover, to preview Bears-Packers at that time.
You can listen to the shows that I'm included in with Sportstownchicago.com on Mondays from 12 to 2 with Alex Trammell and Charles March. We do the show Touch 'Em All. And a show that's coming.
Not gross, though.
No, not weird things. Touch 'em all. It's all sports and all aspects of all.
I'm going off what your promo says.
And then here, speaking of promos, here we're doing a NASCAR show from 7. It goes from 8 to 9:30 every morning if Lucas decides to wake up in time. Yeah, it's called Burnin' Rubber.
Okay.
And hopefully you guys listen in.
Yep, and if you guys ever thought about a career in broadcasting, go to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. Go to beonair.com or dial 630-916-1700. And also follow our stations on Twitter at Chicago_land and at SportsTownChi. So for my guys Ryan Blasing, John Stevens, and our cameraman Tim Helms, and for everybody here at Doc Ryan's, I'm Ryan Fahey signing off. Go Bears tonight. Bears Jets 7:30 here. You all right, John?
Yeah, I'm clapping.
Okay, you're all peppy and all that after the pizza, and you're ready to go?
I'm trying to do like we have an audience. Ryan, thanks for killing it. That's all right.
All right, well, you know what? We'll sign off at that point. You've been listening to the Bears pregame show here at Doc Ryan's at Forest Park here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.